Hey, it's Jackie and welcome back to my channel for this Marilyn Monroe inspired tutorial. This is my all-time favorite look. It's from Gentlemen Prefer Blondes when Marilyn is in all orange. She looks absolutely stunning. I've had it pinned on Pinterest like a million times and I didn't think I could do it justice, but today I was like, let's just try. Let's try our best, and I love how it turned out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you do, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more vintage vibes, pop culture tutorials, and is this look not like peak Hollywood glamour? Before I get started with the makeup, the gorgeous dress, you can get a replica on Etsy. It's just quite expensive, and I budget these videos. So I just did a little DIY for the top of the dress and some Amazon earrings. But yeah, I'll have a link down below if you do want to ball out and get the gorgeous dress. And then I was recently sent a dress that is very similar to an iconic Grace Kelly moment. So I feel like if you're clicking this video and you like 50s, you might love seeing this dress. This could be so cute if you happen to be younger, for prom even. But anyways, let's get into this vintage glam. Like always, let's start with the hydrated base. My all-time favorite rich cream for prep is Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream, and it gives such an old Hollywood vibe. Charlotte Tilbury has my favorite high-end makeup products. They're so glamorous, so don't be surprised if I grab quite a few products. Foundation, let's go with a matte porcelain finish. This is the best shade I have for today's look, and it's She Glam Complexion Pro Long Lasting Breathable Matte Foundation in the shade Buttercream. You also could go in with a blurring primer. I just love Magic Cream and going straight in with foundation. I find it really works well with my skin, so that's what I like to do. Another palette that I religiously use when I do want to brighten up and add some contouring without making the base look too heavy is the Makeup Forever HD Skin Face Sculpting Palette. I use this a ton. Let's take a little bit more of a brighter shade. I could take this scarf off, but I feel fabulous, so I'm going to keep it on. Still with the same palette. I know it looks gross, but I like blend a lot within this palette. I'm taking this contour shade, lightly blending underneath my jawline. Nothing too harsh. And I'm dotting a tiny amount of this product around the hairline because this is a wig. Actually, I bought an expensive wig to do this look, and I opened it up and it was a completely different wig. So I made this morning. I hope it looks okay. I like cut it from a really long blonde wig. It's not even glued down yet, so I'll glue it at the end. I mention Floris's powders in most of my videos, and this is the Floris's Gorgeous Peach Blossom Powder, but it has a bit of lavender to it, so it's a brightening shade. You never get too much with this. It comes with a powder puff, but I'm being a bit obnoxious and using this adorable Hello Kitty big powder puff. Just press it in. If you have any excess, you can press it on your skin, and then lightly pat to set. I never really use sweeping motions. This sets so beautifully, mattifies, but you can still see the radiance underneath. Replace bronzer with blush. To me, the shade looked berry or red in this look. Sweep from the apples of the cheeks up to the temples, along the sides of the forehead for a rosy glow. Okay, for the glow, I tried something new. I took the Danessa Myricks Dew Wet Balm because I know that in old Hollywood they used to use Vaseline to really look gorgeous and glowy on camera, but Vaseline is a little bit heavy, so this is like a modern version of that effect. But then after I applied it, I went with my favorite highlighter. This is the Hollywood Beauty Light Wand in Spotlight. That's perfect. And just dotted it, and then with the balm, it's just glowy. It looks like Barbie. Oh, I love that. Yay! Let's do a little bit on the forehead too. Again, I'm mixing both products. You could totally use one or the other. If I was going to use one, I'd probably use the Spotlight highlight, just because you get more of an effect, but I love it with the Dew Balm. I'm taking this soft brow pencil from Laura Geller, creating a high and pointy arch, kind of like a little triangle. And my brows are quite a bit fuller, so I'm just toning them down by brushing them down. If you ever want to cover your brow without doing all of the glue down steps or anything like that, I think powder works the best. I've tried concealer, it just looks really gross up close. If you just kind of dot along with a light or peach shade or anything that matches your skin tone, using a bit of bright powder to highlight that V. When I use powder, I don't set with brow gel. I've had too many mishaps where like the powder just gets everywhere. On the eyes, I'm using this neutral palette from Makeup by Mario, but I'm also using it as a nose contour. So I really like the matte taupe shade. I take most of it off of my rougher brush, heighten the bridge, defining the bridge into the eye socket, and a little round button for the tip. I don't do like a perfect circle, I do a rounded bit at the top. I usually try to make my nose look bonier, but this kind of rounded tip is cute. I like it. I've tried so many different brushes over the years, and rougher brushes are my favorite for eyes and like small details. But then for face makeup, I'd recommend maybe BK Beauty. It's a little less expensive and I really like how those brushes apply powder and foundation. Let's add a white base to the eye. This is by Kimchi Chic Beauty. It's a jumbo eye pencil. You could use one from NYX as well. And a good trick is to warm it up on your palm instead of applying directly to the lid because it's kind of hard to blend out and you don't want it to get creased. And paint it onto the lid. Brow bone. Down lower on the lid as well. Taking a soft taupe, I'm creating the iconic eye shape, which is a bigger lid this way. It dips down into the crease. And then we're fading that contour shade out in a V, setting the lid with a matte white. Let's add a bit more of the blush to the eye, help it blend into the temples. Her eye shape is so iconic, but in this film, it isn't too harsh, so I'm keeping it blended. Diamond Balm in How Many Carats, and I picked this up to test out a bunch of different glitter shadows when I was recreating the 2008 Victoria's Secret fashion show, and this gives kind of a wet look. So while I do have the Dew Balm that I could use, this is a bit more comfortable because I will be using liquid liner. So let's just press. Just for a little bit of shimmer. Ooh, perfection. Can do this on the brow bone as well. Oh, gorgeous. Makeup is fun. Iconic Marilyn eyeliner. I'm starting by tightlining just so it's a really thin line in the inner corner and then mapping out my wing. Hers does look like it goes up in a 50 shape, but her eye shape is very sleepy and gorgeous, those bedroom eyes. So I've made mine a little bit more outwards than upwards. And now with liquid liner, let's connect the line. A lot of makeup tips from Marilyn Monroe's legendary makeup artist Allan Whitey Snyder are talked about on TikTok a lot, and one of the signature tips is that her eyeliner had a peak in the center of the lid, but I noticed this more in the 60s. I preferred it without, so if you really want to enhance your sleepy eye, then go with a shape like the photo I put on screen. But you can also go more subtle with it, which I thought would suit me a little bit better. Since my eyes are already really big, I didn't want the look to start to become like a caricature, so I decided to go a bit more subtle with the eyeliner. The white was also placed in a V shape, but I just do what I visually see in a photo. That's how I get it the most accurate. And a nice little flick underneath creates a nice shadow and really opens up the eye. And apparently a red dot was applied in the inner corner of the eye to make her eyes look brighter. Let me know if you want to see like a super accurate in terms of historical makeup versus, me recreating from what I see, because that would be fun too. Just touching the bottom lashes. We can't forget an outer corner lash. Take some wispy lash clusters. I started with 12mm. I did 2 starting in the center of the eye, and then 14mm on the outer corner. And you don't want them pushed up too high, kind of push them downward as you apply. For lips, we gotta do an overline. I started with the outer corners. For the lips, I'm choosing to replicate this photo here. In the actual scene, the lighting looks a little bit different, but I love how deep these lips are. So I'm starting with Chestnut from MAC. Enhance the outer corners upwards, and then create a rounded, exaggerated shape, and then blending in. And bam! Whenever I'm trying to recreate a lip, these ColourPop lippies come in handy. Sorry, blanked there. But the first one that I went with is Poison. This looks so pretty. I'm obsessed. This is not the accurate shade, but oh my gosh, I know she used quite a few and layered different products, so it's okay that this isn't the perfect match yet, but I love it. I love this lip combo. I have to remember how much I like it for like fall next year, but then I added another brighter red through the center. So I just went with the 2 and a crystally gloss really brings this together and brings the glam factor. This is the shade Pearl by Maybelline. I love these. They smell so good and have a massive applicator. Let's do a little more. Can't forget the little beauty mark. My only regret with this look is that I didn't match my nails with my lip color. I think that would have been so pretty, but I looked through all my nail polishes and I didn't have one, and I couldn't run to the store. I just knew I'd lose light, so it is what it is, but I love this look. This setting spray has such a nice mist. It's the Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray, and this will help make everything look a little bit more lifelike after we've powdered. Just refreshes. They used to mist her face with water or rose water. Speaking of modern products with a vintage feel, this is one of the deodorants that I use. It's by Madame Lemmy. This is the rose one. It's all natural. Comes with a powder puff. Oops. They have a bunch of different scents. I like the rose one, but they also have lemon and lime. There's a cute discovery pack, which I got for my mom, and it was a really cute gift, but it has no artificial fragrance. It's cruelty-free, vegan, aluminum-free, talc-free, paraben-free. So these are really cool, and they recently came out with a stick deodorant as well that you can use all over. But if you do love like the really vintage aesthetic, then this is really cool. I did do a recreation of Grace Kelly on short form content, so if you'd like to see a long form video, let me know which look you'd like to see. I could do the rear window look again, or I could do the blue dress look because I have a very similar dress now. For more vintage inspired tutorials, you might like the Turkish Delight makeup, which has been a huge trend on TikTok. Her makeup was actually inspired by Marilyn Monroe. The vibe's a little different though, more baby doll with brighter pinks. Or you can watch my favorite video, the Yardley recreation, and I did do a haul of authentic 60s products in that video. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next one.